Hey everybody, it's Mike. I'm back, and I'm having some internet problems. So if anything goes crazy, that's why. It's not easy. It's not easy streaming from the jungle. Okay, so hey, we got Fake Human. Hey, how you doing, man? Great to see you here. I got a lot of stuff, man. I got updates on the temple that collapsed. I got it's a great video by Queen of Karma. I got Knitting Cult Lady, and I got some scammer gurus we're gonna look at. I got a lot of stuff. I got all kinds of stuff to look at. So let me get right to the opening here, and then we'll get going.
Hello?
Hello.
So thanks for sticking it out. What do we got? We got 7720 here. I don't know what that is, radioactive. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you here. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I guess the first thing I want to get to is, hey, I'm sorry I didn't dress up for the show tonight, okay? I'm not dressing up. I don't dress up for Krishna occult updates. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But today I definitely didn't dress up for today. But anyway, let's get the. There we go. And let's see. What else we got here? You know, I might not be. You know, college graduate or anything like that. I might not be, you know, write any books about cults or anything like that. But you know, I know what I'm.
Smart.
I'm smart.
Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect.
Absolutely, I want respect. Okay, I don't get no respect. No, but hey, you know, one thing I do want to say is Knitting Cult Lady. Knitting Cult Lady gets all my respect. I really I respect what she has to say and what she's doing and all of that. So definitely I'm great to have her back on the show. And let me see, make sure, because a lot of times her sound doesn't come. Her sound is not good. I don't know what's up with that. But this is something I'm going to talk about. I'm going to rant and rave on this. I'm going to say this right now. But I'm glad that she's talking about this, because I've talked about this. I've mentioned this before. I've mentioned this many times. Probably not enough. But I try to bring it up as whenever it's pertinent. And here's her video. Here is Knitting Cult Lady herself, the knitting one, talking about experiences in a cult. Okay, here we go. Oh, let's see what we can do here. There we go.
This is an incredibly important point. Thank you so much for making this comment. Just because some people enjoyed and were taken care of by a cult does not make it not a cult. The majority of cults, and right now I'm not really talking about single family cults, although it might still apply to single family cults and 1-1 cults, but the majority of your big commune cults had a broad base of members who usually were not living in the inner sanctums, who were not it all involved in the very negative parts of the cult. Think about all the people who buy Playboy magazines and did not know, and still do not know, that Hugh Hefner was bringing in German shepherds to play with the girls because he got too bored. So, yeah, right? The Children of God cult, the one that advocated pedophilia and wrote a 762-page how-to book with photos, has hundreds of thousands of people who only experience the good stuff. And here's the problem. The people that interact with a cult or a cult leader, and that's where it does apply to 1-1 cults and single-family cults, right? I always hear from people who grew up in single-family cults, to everyone else, my mom was the best person in the world, and it's only us at home that knew the reality. And the sad part is, and we see this so often with Alcoholics Anonymous cult members, they will spend their lives denigrating and trying to shut up the stories of the people who experience the bad stuff. So to me, it means absolutely nothing if somebody has a good experience to tell in a cult. What means a lot to me is whether they will listen to the bad experience or just try to shut it down. Because actually, our good experiences with a group do not outweigh our bad experiences with a group. No, they're the same. And most of us do not actually think that through and look at that intelligently. So if you are a cult survivor and you are trying to have conversations about your experience, do not let yourself be shut down by other people from that cult who are saying, that didn't happen to me, that's not what it was like. Trust your experience. If you are wondering if you had a cult experience, I want to know why. Because when we have good group experiences, the thought of cult just doesn't even come up. We don't go, I wonder if that was a cult. It just doesn't come up.
It just doesn't come up. And the good experiences don't outweigh the bad experiences. The bad experiences actually should outweigh the good experiences. So when people say, well, hey, I've been hanging around and it seems fine with me, everything's fine to me, that you expect that in a cult. You expect people to say that in a cult. But you got to listen to the people that are saying, I was abused, all these children, all the domestic abuse. Not only that, but like she said, they got books where their shit is in the books. When I'm talking about this shit is in these books, this pedophilia, and you go, well, it's not going to say, you don't open up Prabhupada's book and it says, this is how to be a pedophile. But he says, marry a 12-year-old girl. Smack her around a bit if she doesn't want to listen to you. Discard her when you're 50 years old, go off to the forest or whatever. And then you look at these conversations, at the things that he says in his conversations, telling, yes, you can beat the children. You can beat this boy. The stories in the books where women are treated like shit. Steals their clothes and from the river and takes them up in the river. And I understand, okay, the little kids are playing and everything. But you're glorifying this behavior with, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, and he stole their clothes and he made them get out of the river and cover their pubic area with their hand and come and in shame take their, what is that teaching our children or your children? And that's just one example of this bullshit. That's just one example. The books are full of this stuff about the gopis and their breasts were full and milk was flowing and their hips were swaying and Mohini and she enchanted and Lord Shiva ejaculated. I mean, the books are full of this stuff. Ramananda Roy and Chota Hari. I mean, come on. And don't tell me I'm out of my mind, because she's saying the Children of God cult had a whole how-to book with pictures and photographs and diagrams and the whole thing. And not everybody in the Children of God cult was being abused. She said a lot of people just saw the good side. It's like the people buying Playboy didn't know all the bullshit that was going on behind the scenes. German shepherds. And these people are all over the place saying, and especially when us survivors are talking about our experiences and explaining and warning, and they want to come in with their bullshit. Oh, I had a good experience. I had nothing happen. Fuck you and your good experience. We're talking about a goddamn pedophile cult. You tell me you got into this pedophile cult. You didn't know the German shepherds were molesting the girls when you were reading Playboy. Yeah, you were in this cult and you didn't realize what was going on. You didn't realize people are getting shot in the head in a van and buried under a river in New Vrindavan. And women like Rupa Manjari are getting beat. Not just one Rupa Manjari, 5 Rupa Manjaris from just one guy. And if you think that Narayan is the exception, you're out of your fucking mind. Where do you think he's getting it from? And people like this Paranjan that want to sit there and act like they're like a Prabhupada ain't the problem. Like these books, like all this bullshit in these books is like, this is perfectly okay. It's just Jayapataka. Yeah, Jayapataka is a piece of shit. I ain't gonna lie, he's a piece of shit. But Prabhupada's a piece of shit too. And all you people out there defending Prabhupada and trying to blame these gurus and blame and defending Prabhupada and just trying to blame the gurus, fuck you, you're part of the problem. And these people, and I'll tell you the truth, I feel like I have a duty to warn. I feel like I have a duty to fucking warn. So when someone sends me a video and I watch it, and it's one of these pieces of shit videos, I leave a comment. I feel like I have a duty to leave a comment. If I'm there where devotees are, I feel like I gotta speak up. I'm gonna say something. And I don't give a fuck. Just like they want to come in and disrupt our community of being survivors of this cult and say, oh, it wasn't that bad, or oh, well, you're eating hamburger, or whatever the fuck they want to pull their shit. I'll pull that shit too. Fuck your cult, your pedophile cult, and all your pedophile literature, and your pedophile gurus, and defending. I mean, you can fuckers defend them right on YouTube, sitting there going, well, this fucker. Where is this fucker, man? Piss me off, man. That guy goes right on there and says, hey, I'm going to pal around with my child molester buddies, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Just fuck these kids, man. And then they want to sit there and say, even though they got characters like that, even with characters like this, admitting that they molest children, admitting that he doesn't give a fuck about it, admitting that he's going to go pal around with these guys, whether they commit fucking child sexual abuse or not. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. And even with all of that, these people still want to sit there and go, oh, well, it's not that bad for me. I had a good time. Fuck you and your good time. Fuck you and your kirtan. Fuck you and your kirtan and your good times. That's what I say. Pieces of shit. Act like our suffering, our trauma, my daughter getting molested, and everybody else's daughters and sons getting raped and molested, and wives getting beat and everything. Like that's somebody else's problem. Well, they got these fuckers up there defending this bullshit. Defending this bullshit. And acting like he's a holy man. What kind of holy man defends that shit? Act like you're some kind of fucking Jesus. I gotta bless these molesters and go hang out with them and party with them and wash their feet and act like they're a goddamn holy man, just like I think I'm a holy man. Fuck them and their bullshit. While people are dying in temple collapses over this bullshit, people's lives being destroyed, being taken from them. Those 5 people, and probably more people, those 5 people that died in South Africa in that temple, they got relatives and family that are devastated over what? Over some freak like this? Over some freak like this? Some freak like this is building a goddamn temple, and 5 people are now dead. You know, if they don't give a fuck about kids, and he doesn't give a fuck about child molesters, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody. How the fuck can you? How the fuck can he sit there and act like he's a holy man, and he's gonna bless somebody, and he got a stick and a turban and the whole fucking thing, and pal around with fucking child molesters? What kind of fucking holy man does that? You want to forgive him and bless him and everything, fine, but you don't have to go fucking embarrass yourself and disrespect a whole fucking movement and every fucking survivor, not just survivors in this kind. You're disrespecting every fucking child abuse survivor there is on the planet when you just sit there and go, well, you know, my book says I have to forgive these guys. Not only forgive them, but I'm going to go party with them. I'm going to go have birthday cake and wash their stinky ass feet and do all that, jump around and just sing and dance with them. Fucking disgusting. Hey, Travis, how you doing, man? Glad to see you're here. I'm glad to see you're here, man. Man, they caught me in the middle of a fucking rant. I'm fucking... Okay, so... man. And another thing. Can I get a haircut finally? I need to get this shit cut. I just keep putting it off, and that makes me mad too. I was like, I got nothing to fucking do, and I can't find the time to go get a fucking haircut. Hey, how you doing, man? I got plenty of time to sit here and bitch and moan about this goddamn cult. Because this cult, I know, is fucking harming people and destroying lives, like these 5 people that died in this temple collapse. Hey, Dolly Roberts, how you doing, man? I'm sorry I called you man. How you doing? Great to see you. So that was first knitting cult lady telling you that not everyone in a cult has the same terrible experience, but that does not mean it's not a cult. That doesn't mean that it's not causing trauma, not abusing people. And I agree with her. Not everyone in a cult has the same terrible cult experience, but everybody who's in a cult is being abused and being traumatized because it's not real. So first of all, you got that to deal with. You got to deal with the bull that it's bullshit. Now, whether you're being sexually abused or mentally abused, or you're just the coercion, the manipulation, there's all different degrees of that, of how it's affecting you and how much you're taking in and how much it's affecting you. Just like all these people that get in there, and just like I said, they're not experiencing abuse, what we call abuse, like sexual abuse or physical abuse. But there's mental abuse and emotional abuse and what I call spiritual blackmail, emotional blackmail. That abuse is going on. So everybody's affected. Everyone's having some kind of trauma. They don't realize it yet. and they don't know you don't know to what degree it is until you actually leave. And then you have to have a lot of people have left, have trauma, and they haven't accepted or realized it yet. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Some of us have. Some of us have realized some of it. Some of us have realized a little bit of it. And some of us have realized all of it. Some of us haven't realized all of it. Some of us have just realized, I was abused, but I don't know exactly how, why, what. And it'll come. Everybody's like I've said before. Everybody's different. Everybody's on a different in a different place in the race. Everybody just starts. Some people just started the race. Other people have crossed the finish line. I want to say I'm close to the finish line. I don't think I've crossed it, but I think I'm close to it. But some of us have just got out. And some of us, it's our friends that got in, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. So everybody's in a different place. Yeah, everybody's running for that kiwi. Some have caught it. Some have just entered the race. Not everybody's in the same place. Hey, everybody catching up. Yeah, try to get caught up, I guess. I don't know. I'll try to talk slower. Yeah. Man. Wait, we're gonna get to these videos. So not everybody's on the same in the cult has the same experience. You got that out. So now I wanted one more knitting cult lady. I told you I got a lot of stuff I want to get to. A lot of ranting and raving today. A lot of ranting and raving. Where are we on this one? Oh. Why is it not working?
Okay, this is a really important part of brainwashing. Small acts of kindness. The comment says, I still vividly remember the first time someone said something kind to me at basic training, Army. After weeks of being broken down, I burst into tears because I was so overwhelmed with emotion. That is exactly where the trauma happens, right? So I was talking about the fact that military trauma doesn't just come from combat, right? Having yourself broken, your identity destroyed, is pretty traumatic. Now, I don't know the details of who said the kind thing to her. It could have been another trainee, and that's different. That's how some of the trauma bonding happens with each other. But it is a tactic from the drill sergeants. Because the way that you break people down very, very quickly is isolation, pain, surveillance, and small acts of kindness. So here's my story. So I was in basic training. I was probably six-ish weeks in, right? The drill sergeants knew I was super physically fit, and they knew that I was on my way to officer school right after this, which meant they gave me a harder time than everyone else, but I was dealing with it, right? So every couple weeks, they take you to the store so that you can buy things that you need, and the men get a haircut and all of that stuff, right? So you go through the store, you check out, and the drill sergeants are just sitting there by the checkout, just messing with you, generally, right? So we are sitting there. I put my rifle down to pay, right? Now, I need to explain to the civilians the number one thing you cannot do in the military, in the Army, is walk away from your weapon, okay? When you are deployed, if you lose your weapon, that will generally end your career. Men are worse at it than women because women already have something that we have to keep hold of all the time and not lose, or it will affect our whole lives. But men have pockets, so they don't. Anyway, in this situation, I was checking out, right? So I put my rifle down, I'm checking out, and one of the drill sergeants just starts saying a whole bunch of crap about me. And the other drill sergeant, who was my platoon's main drill sergeant, said, I don't know, I think Poole's okay. I think she might even make a better officer than her husband. What's kind of significant about this is this drill sergeant was a black man, and that husband turned out to eventually be kicked out of the army for white supremacy. So maybe he knew something. I was so flattered. I was so absolutely lost my head that I walked away without my weapon. And I spent the rest of the day paying for it. But that is small act of kindness, right? And by the end of basic training, we are dedicated to our drill sergeants who have been actively creating what psychologists call disorganized attachment. This is Alexandra Stein, who wrote Terror, Love, and Brainwashing's definition of disorganized attachment. And if you are a military veteran, I want you to think about basic training while I read this.
Okay, so I don't know what it's like to have to live in the ashram and be under the command of a Bhakti leader or the temple commander or the the head of the ashram. I don't know what that's like because I never experienced that. So, but I would imagine it's its own traumatic experience. What do we got here? Radha Dasi has been the cause of a lot of people to get a divorce and leave the cult. Yeah, we're gonna look. I think that's her on the video. I don't know. I think I found her. Radha Das. Suzanne Towle is a criminal. Yeah, I think that's her on the thing. I think I finally found her. I've been trying to find her for a while. I finally found something. So yeah, the cult brainwashing. I know in the ashram you are isolated. You're totally struggling with the rules and regulations and book distribution, all that. You get a little bit of prasadam as a reward, and you're broken down in your identity, and then when you get to a guru, now you're doing the whole thing with the guru. So I don't know how all that works. I have no experience of that. My brainwashing happened in a completely different way. But that just shows you how it can happen. You don't have to join the temple and get into the ashram and go through all of that indoctrination with the Bhakti leader and the whole ashram living and on the floor. You don't have to do all that. You too can recreate that in your own home on your own just by reading Prabhupada's books and associating with the Hare Krishna devotees. You can turn your own home into your very own ashram, and you can self-regulate and cause your own personal trauma by your very own self, and that's what happens, and that's exactly what happens. So. But it happens the same. It's isolation, it's pain and reward, and whatever else she said, I don't remember. Okay, so here we go. What's the next one? Okay, so, hey, Queen of Karma put together her very own video about the temple collapse in South Africa. And I got to share it with you. For those of you that have subscribed to Queen of Karma, maybe you've seen it already. For those of you that haven't, check this out. This is really great. She did a great job, much better than I could ever do. I'll tell you that right now. But look at this. She did a whole video. She made a whole video about the Hare Krishna cult temple tragedy in South Africa. And she just did it yesterday. Man, let's watch a little bit of it and see what...
The death toll climbs to 5 in South African temple building collapse. The death toll in last week's building collapse at the site of a Hindu temple in South Africa has risen to 5, and investigators have launched a probe into the cause of the disaster, authorities said Monday. And you might be thinking, well, Queen, why are you covering this? You see, the news is calling this a Hindu temple in South Africa. However, this temple is actually the Varlam temple, which is a temple in the Hare Krishna cult.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
The Hare Krishna movement, formerly known as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, has long carried the weight of controversy. Survivors and researchers, such as myself, have described it as a high-control religious group, a cult-like organization where devotion is leveraged to demand obedience, labor, and financial sacrifice. From child abuse scandals in its Gurukula schools to financial exploitation and
Yes, that is Queen of Karma. Look, hey, it is her, the Queen herself. Yes, absolutely. You did such a great job. You did such a great job on this. I wanted to share it with my viewers here in case they haven't seen it. It's really great where you got so much information, and I knew that information was out there. I just wasn't able. I just wasn't able to find it. And but hey, you really did a great job. So. Absolutely, and thanks for joining today. Great to see you here. Let's see.
Logical manipulation. ISKCON's history is marked by systemic harm that continues to reverberate across its global communities. Now, in South Africa, those long-standing concerns have collided with tragedy. On December 12, 2025, a temple building under construction in Verulam collapsed, killing several people and injuring many more. This disaster is not only a local catastrophe, it is a stark reminder of how unchecked ambition, negligence, and cult-like expansion practices can cost lives.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly. And yeah, it's awesome. She's doing a great job. It's just great. Hey, you're welcome. I mean, thank you for bringing this to a whole nother audience, because I know your audience is like you said, like, why are you covering this? Yes, this is a dangerous cult. And like, if you shouldn't have to worry about volunteering at your local church if you're going to get killed or something. I mean, it's crazy what they put their people through. So again, I want to thank you for making that video. Again, everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Queen of Karma, go check her out. It's great. Now, here's another video of the temple collapse. I don't know if you saw this one, Queen. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But this one. This one actually shows the temple collapsing. Here we go.
We had river rate drawn.
So it's a total tragedy. It's a horrible tragedy that could have been avoided. It easily could have been avoided. All they had to do was just do things the right way. Get permits and plans and engineers, people that know how to do these things, and do it like that. And instead of doing that, now there's five people that have lost their lives in this senseless, preventable disaster. It is a complete disaster. And you bring up a good point. Are there any updates on the software engineer milking a cow? Well, luckily, from what I know, he is he's on the East Coast somewhere, either in New York or Gaurahari or somewhere, and he's working for the BBT or Jayapataka or something, or Devamrita, someone doing something. And so he, fortunately, he was not in India, or in South Africa. But it just shows that person, that software engineer that was milking a cow, he easily could have been in that temple in South. If his guru had told him, "Hey, we want you to go to this temple. We're building a temple in South Africa. We want you to go. Why don't you go and and preach in South Africa and help them build the temple there?" And he would have said, "Yeah, okay." And he goes to South Africa, and they put him in the tent. And they go, "Yeah, climb up there and help us with this thing." And next thing you know, the thing claps. I mean, it could have been anybody. It could have been anybody from any part of the world who joins, and their guru says, "Hey, you know what? We're building a temple in South Africa. You want to go? You want to go give them a hand?" And these things are going on all over the world. So, Mr. Software Engineer that's milking a cow, he could end up anywhere and with anything happening. That's why I'm saying it's not like, and that's a real danger. That's a real physical danger. That they put you in some, construction thing, building something with no permits or whatever, and something happens. I mean, but that's just on the face of it. I mean, there's so much other shit going on, There's so much other shit going on. But that's just straight up happen to anybody. Straight up happen to anybody. They're like, "Oh, we're building this thing. Can you help us unload this truck with this cement and carry it up there?" And the next thing, the thing collapses and they're dead. It collapses and they're dead. So the thing about the software engineer milking a cow is pertinent, because the software engineer that gave up his job to go milk a cow in India could easily have ended up in South Africa, milking a cow right there. And then they go, "Hey, can you climb up there and climb up there and carry this thing in there?" You're like, "Okay." Retards are as mentally. I mean, and I gotta tell you, it makes me think when I was helping Radha Bhushna build these Rath Yatra carts. Anything could have happened. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm smart enough. I worked in a factory. I know how to do this kind of thing. But shit happens. Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. Hey, Jenna Morton, how you doing? Great to see you here. Damn, I know this woman, Radha Dasi. She grew up in ISKCON. Her parents were fanatics, and then she switched to Narayan. Yeah, I want to get to her. Let's see. So we did that, and oh, okay. So here she is. Okay, so here she is. This one. And I didn't even know who she was when I saw this, and that's the funny thing is I didn't know who she was, and I saw this video, and I said, I wonder if that's her. And then I looked her up, and this same video popped up, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is her, because I didn't know I honestly didn't know. Let's see.
Hello everyone, my name is Suzanne Towle, and I'm feeling so honored to be able to share with you this beautiful project that was founded by our spiritual guardians, Srila Bhakti Narayan Goswami Maharaj, as well as Srila Prabhupada, and that's being continued to beautifully blossom by all the spiritual volunteers that are here in the temple and all those that are supporting from across the seas. This project that's happening here in Vrindavan, India, from the Radha Kunj Temple, which is part of the Brajabhumi Group, Inc. nonprofit, is really special. Every single day, between 1,000 to 5,000 people are served.
Okay, let me just say this. I want to say this right now. So she's bragging about serving, let's say serving 5,000 plates of food in Vrindavan daily, and she's like, we have a nonprofit organization and we sell and we distribute this food. And I say this, I say this right now, and I'm gonna, and I say this with all honesty. You're only distributing that food so you can distribute books and you can sell books. That's it. I'll make this challenge to you. You serve those 5,000 plates of food, you give all that food, but you don't get to distribute it. You just take it you take it where it's gonna go and you let someone else distribute it. If you're really doing it just on the goodness of giving the food to hungry people, then just give them the food. No preaching, no books, no kirtan, none of that. Just the food. All you do is you cook the food and you deliver the food. You don't distribute the food. You don't come in contact with the people that are getting the food. You just provide the food. Do that. Show us that it's just the feeding of the people. It's just giving them food is the point. It's not the preaching. Prove to us it's not the preaching. Just distribute the food without any preaching. No books, no kirtan, no lectures, no anything. You take that food, you drop it off there, and you turn around and leave. Do that. Do that. If you want to brag about feeding people, then just feed them. None of this Krishna stuff. You can be Hare Krishnas, but show us that the feeding the food is about feeding the people is about feeding the people and not about preaching to them. I say this is all about preaching. This has nothing to do with food. Food is just the vehicle that gets you to preach to these people. That's it. And if you can't preach to them, you're not going to feed them. That's what I say. You're only feeding them so you can preach your bullshit to them. You want to really show us how great you are? Feed them and don't preach to them. Don't even tell them where the food's coming from. Just give them the food and don't even say where it's from or anything. Prove to me that prove to the world that you don't want to preach to these people, you just want to feed them. Fuck you, you don't want to feed them. If they said you can't preach to them, you can only drop the food off, you'd say, fuck you, we're not dropping this food off. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't take the time to feed, to cook that food and package it up and just take it to where it's got to go if you weren't getting something out of it. If you weren't getting something out of it, you wouldn't be doing it. And you're exactly right. This temple is where the guru grooms the monks to stay there for life. Yeah, that temple where they give free food, in Vrindavan. Yeah, there ain't no free. It ain't free. They gotta sit there and listen to their lectures. They take their books. They gotta do something. It ain't no free. I'm calling them out right now. Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. I'm calling them out right now. I'm saying it's not about the food. I'm saying it's not about the food. It's about you recruiting for your goddamn cult. If you're not allowed to recruit for your cult, you're not feeding one person. You're not feeding one person. You feed 5,000 plates of food daily in Vrindavan without videos bragging about it, without any lectures, without trying to raise money off or anything. Just do it out of the goodness of your heart. Do it out of the goodness of your fucking heart. No, you ain't got no fucking heart. You don't give a fuck about these people. This is just a preaching opportunity. That's all it is. It's a preaching opportunity to ruin people's lives. To ruin their fucking lives. They want to spread their food so that people will listen to them, preach to them, so that you can ruin their fucking lives. Well, fuck you and fuck your food. Nobody needs your fucking food. There's plenty of people feeding people in India. There's plenty of people feeding people without preaching their bullshit. Their child molesting, pedophile crap. Woman hating, domestic abuse encouraging, sexual abuse occurring. You guys are all this fucking same. Again, they ain't fooling me with your bullshit about feeding people in India. You ain't fooling me one bit. You feed those people and don't say it's you guys doing it. And let's see how long that lasts. You won't do it. You won't do it. If they told you, no, you can't preach to them, just drop off the food and we'll give them the food. You just drop off the food and go. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the food and go. They would say, well, we're not doing it. You got to let us come in. You got to let us preach to them. You got to let us do kirtan. You got to let us lecture. You got to let us distribute our books. You got to let us ask for some money or whatever they do. They ain't doing that out of the goodness of their heart, nurturing bodies, nurturing souls. Fuck you and your nurturing bullshit. You ain't nurturing nothing but fucking abuse. That's all you're doing.
And this isn't just happening inside the temple, but outside the temple as well. Thousands of people coming inside the temple and being served this delicious prasadam, this sacred food. And then outside the temple as well. My husband and I, Jorge Quadros, who's with you inside the room right now, we go out from 10 a.m. about 2:30 p.m. and then again going out with my two other Seva partners, 5 p.m. until 8, sometimes 9 p.m. and going hut to hut, tent to tent, temple to temple, house to house, going all over the villages within Vrindavan and also the outskirts of Vrindavan, and serving everyone, widows, mendicants, sadhus, sacred yogis, as well as
There they were. They were spreading their bullshit literature right there. Right there, see? Spreading their bullshit.
Sadhus, sacred
handing out their books and their whatever it is they're handing out. You need to tell me. I know better than I know what these fuckers are doing. All they do is make men brahmacharis and make the women be single and there's nothing good in this cult. There is absolutely nothing good comes from this cult. And all the good that they try to say, well, we do this and we do that. We don't need you to do that. We'd rather you didn't do that. I'd rather you didn't feed these people and hand out your bullshit. Really, I'd rather you didn't do that. If the only way you're going to feed these people is by handing out this bullshit literature with your bullshit crap in it that ruins people's lives, no thanks, don't do it. I don't want you to do it. And I'll stand by that. I'll stand by that. Fuck you and your food, and fuck you and your literature, and fuck you and your gurus and your bullshit. Just fuck you all the way. Fuck you all the fucking way. Everyone is filled with joy. No one's filled with joy. There ain't no fucking joy in your goddamn cult.
I was actually just thinking about something that happened recently, about 3 weeks ago. There's this little boy that just completely disappeared off the map with his family that we used to go, we used to feed them, and he was so happy, he was so sweet, and like very rough life. Like parents lost his baby brother because
She makes me sick. She makes me sick. I don't even want to look at her. She makes me sick because she's encouraging women to join this cult and under the pretense of helping children, helping whatever, and this is nothing but a fucking misogynistic, woman-hating, fucking child molesting bullshit cult based on lies and frauds and fraudulent gurus and child molesting gurus and all of that bullshit, and she's fucking part of it, and she's helping it. She's helping it, and she's helping for women to be abused. Women are abused in this cult. They preach that women like to be raped and women are have small brains and are dumb and all of this stuff. They preach all of this crap. It's fucking disgusting. She's fucking disgusting. She's fucking disgusting to be trying to lure women into this cult so they can be abused by people like Nar Narayan and Yashoda Nandan and all these other fucking creeps. These disgusting fucking creeps. People like Dhamma Ghosh asking Prabhupada for a young girl. Can I get a 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl? Fucking. The thing is, all of this shit is in the Veda base. You can look this shit up. You can look this shit up. The thing is, there's so much shit in there you can't compile. I mean, it's almost impossible to compile it all, because then you just end up with another Veda base where it's like you're still looking. Someone asked, so I left a comment on a video, and stating that Prabhupada was 22 and he had an 11-year-old wife, and he said that blacks are ugly, belong in the jungle, all the basic stuff. And so someone commented back and said, "Oh, can you show me where he says these things?" In which I get all the time, but I hadn't gotten one in a while because I haven't been doing that. I haven't been leaving messages or comments in a while. So someone replied to that, and so I replied to them. Sure, I can show you in the Veda base where he says all of these things, but first you have to agree that these are disgusting things. Because once I show them to you, then you're going to defend them. So why do you want to? My showing, what good is my showing them to you going to do? You want to see them now because you're like, oh, those prove to me he said those things, because those are shocking things to you. But once I show them to you, they're not going to be shocking anymore, and you're not going to give a fuck. So why should I bother showing them to you? Because you don't give a fuck now. And now I got to go look for the fucking, for the conversation where Prabhupada says, I mean, I should have it as my wallpaper, but I got to go look for this conversation because I don't keep all this stuff. I'm going to go look for this friggin' quote again where Prabhupada says that women have small brains, or where he says that I was 22, I was 11, and she was 11, I was 22. I know it's a morning walk, and I know but I mean, it's ridiculous. These people, they don't give a fuck. This bitch doesn't give a fuck what Prabhupada says in his books. She's got her neck beads on and her tilak on and all dressed up and her Krishna pictures, and she's all proud of her serving 5,000 plates of food. She doesn't give a fuck what says in these books. It's like the fucking the disconnect. The disconnect. Because you don't believe that women should have rights? You don't believe that women should have control of their own destiny? You believe that women should be married when they're 12 years old? You believe this shit? You have control of your destiny, but you're promoting books and philosophy that says that women should not have control of their destiny? Are you in control of do you do what your husband says, everything your husband says, or do you do what you want? I mean, the hypocrisy and the bullshit it's off the charts with these people. Does she look like someone who's subservient to her husband? Does she look like someone who gets down and touches his feet and does all the shit that Prabhupada says that a wife should do? How come she's making the videos, her husband not making the video? I thought she's supposed to be subservient, be controlled by her husband. How come she's making the videos, he's out serving the prasadam? This is the bullshit of these people, man. The bullshit of these people. She encourages women to join the cult, then she mistreats them and chastises them in the name of her religion. Yeah, to talk about abuse. Talk about abuse. It's like the very definition of abuse. Encouraging someone to join a cult and then mistreat them once they're in is disgusting. This whole thing is disgusting. Everything about it. This woman, Radha Dasi, is a criminal, and she's part of many cases of woman abuse. She looks like it. She looks like a criminal. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, oh, I can spot him a mile away. But I know these Hare Krishnas are all criminals. It's like she's dressed in look at a white woman in a sari. I can't pass judgment on her wearing neck beads and tilak when I know what that cult has done to so many thousands of people, thousands of kids, thousands of couples, thousands of families, hundreds of thousands of people. If you count all the families, the siblings, the parents, the children, the husbands and wives that have been damaged and abused by this cult, in the hundreds of thousands. All the collateral damage, all the damage that her father or her grandfather did in ISKCON, and she's just continuing this bullshit. This is generational abuse and narcissism. She's miserable. She looks miserable. She looks like just like all these other ones, man. I would say this woman, Radha Dasi, harassed me and threatened me. She actually berates her husband. She looks like it. She looks like she doesn't take shit from anybody. She doesn't look like she's subservient to her husband. You gotta tell me that she answers to her husband. She got the face of a woman that doesn't answer to nobody. It's her way or the highway. That's what it looks like to me.
Mother needed to work and, couldn't take care, and just very sad. But he would always be.
She got an evil look. She got an evil look to her that that you rarely see. That you rarely see in people, and that's what I say about this cult. This cult just turns people into into disgusting assholes and pricks, and just. It really does. The whole philosophy is based on being a prick and an asshole. Women have small brains, and blacks are ugly and belong in the less intelligent, and karmis are this, and karmis are demons, and yavanas and rakshasas and malechas, and everything's moochie. Damn. There's a whole cult philosophy based on hating everybody and hating everything and feeling like you're the fucking on top of the goddamn world. It's fucking disgusting. And these people have never done anything. She's never done a fucking goddamn thing. She's evil. That's about all she's done is be evil. Fucking evil ass demons, man. I think she must have been a demon in a past life or there's such a thing. I know. If there's a past life and demons, she was definitely one of them. That's just ugh. And okay, so let's look at another evil fucking prick. Listen to what this guy's got to say. Every time he's always got something stupid to say. I mean, that's a guarantee. That's a friggin' guarantee. The very people in her temple say she's evil. Even her best friends. Her best friends say she's an evil bitch. They don't like her. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me see, what do we got here? Whoops. Why is this not, okay, here we go.
I now want to speak on what is envisaged as a series of talks on the Vanaprastha ashram. Those of you who read Srila Prabhupada's books regularly, and I hope all of you are, must have come
So right there, he's telling you, go read these books that are full of racism, sexism, child marriage, pedophilia. That's what I want you to go read. He's telling you right there. Because I've shown you all what's in the book. So he's telling you right there, go read them.
across the statement, Panchash Ardvang Vanang Vrajit. At the age of 50 or above 50, one must go to the forest. In other words, accept Vanaprastha life.
Okay, except for the letter where Prabhupada wrote the letter and said, you don't have to go to the forest. You can just be Vanaprastha with your wife and stay at home. Prabhupada says that in the Vedabase. There's a letter where Prabhupada says that in the Vedabase. Now, and so all I'm saying is that there's his books are full of contradictions. Now he does say this creepy guy here is right. Prabhupada does say this. He says, Varnashram, you must do this, you must do that, you must do this, you must do that, all of these things. But then, when it comes down to it, when someone comes down to doing something, Prabhupada would say, oh, well, if I tell you, if I say, in today's modern age, Vanaprastha means, you can just be married with your wife and go do that. Well, then what are we supposed to say? Well, is that it or is that not? I mean, Prabhupada says one thing he says a lot of things in his books, but then when you read these letters and conversations, he makes a lot of exceptions and a lot of, like arbitrary decisions that go against what he says in his books. Like this whole Ritvik thing and so many things. It's just, but anyway, let's pretend like Prabhupada didn't give that instruction. Let's pretend like Prabhupada didn't give that, and he is saying that you must go to the forest.
Srila Prabhupada repeatedly includes this in his Bhaktivedanta purports. How does this practically apply? We don't see many examples. Unfortunately, even among the big leaders.
Yes, because Prabhupada told one of the leaders, in a letter, he told him, you don't have to literally go to the forest. You can just be Vanaprastha in your own home. And that's why everyone who since Prabhupada said that, everybody in ISKCON knows that if Prabhupada says something on the plane or in the car or on a walk, that is just as important as he says something anywhere else. There is no, well, Prabhupada said this, well, that doesn't count. No, Prabhupada said it, he said it. So these guys are like, well, Prabhupada already said in his letter that we don't have to go to the forest. We can do Vanaprastha at home. I mean, we don't have to do that. But this guy, because he wants to be Mr. I am the ultimate Babaji turban-headed freak, only I know what Prabhupada really wants and really says and really means. Only me, because I got the turban and the stick, and I don't have any women anywhere near me, and I'm...
Those who are grihastas in today's Vaishnava society have not set the example. Almost all elder grihastas just stay grihastas until they die. Grihastha means staying in the home, and they just literally...
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Prabhupada instructed, he said, you can be Vanaprastha at home. You don't have to literally go to the forest. So am I smarter than this guy? You can't tell me that I know more than this guy. I mean, he's got a turban and a stick. He's got a little chair. Don't tell me I know more than this guy. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to accept the fact that I know more about what Prabhupada says than this guy. This guy knows that Prabhupada said that. This guy knows that Prabhupada told his devotee that you don't have to go to the forest. He's a bullshitter. This guy is a bullshitter. He's the crypt keeper. He's crypt keeper Ananda. Look at this guy. Oh my God. I heard this despicable creep watches gay porn. I'm not gonna say that's, that he doesn't. I mean, these guys are all, but he's got such a reputation, and he's such a freak. He's such a freak about it. It's hard to believe that someone who's so hardcore freakish into this bullshit would do that. That would risk that. But again, I can't. He thinks he's deity and he needs to be worshipped. Oh my! Look how he cosplays for his. I know he is 100%. He's over the top. He's over the top. This thing looks like a scary monster. This is your pure devotee guru. You're gonna wash his sticky feet and drink the water off his feet so he can take you back to God. He set up his camera in the room to pretend he's Guru Dev. I know it is so ridiculous. It's work from home. I work from home. The work from home is so funny, man. He's on a Zoom meeting with his. He's on a Zoom meeting with his boss. He's like, "Look, boss, look, I'm selling books. Okay, I got 2 shopping carts. I'm gonna be heading. I'll be heading out to 2 shopping carts. I'm gonna take 2 shopping carts of books to the forest.
Stay in that situation until they die. We need to talk about this. Srila Prabhupada's instructions in this regard should not be ignored. There are so many devotees who have
look at the right camera. Well, you look at the right camera. Oh, you missed it,
as
dude.
They can.
When the red light goes on, you turn your head. You look at the other camera.
Much experience and realization, and they can live up to their potential. They can share.
How come? Okay, so the good question is, the good question is, why isn't he out in the forest? Why isn't this crypt keeper? Why isn't this guy out in the forest? Why is he sitting in a nice room? He's got this nice room with a camera and he's got a microphone. He's got somebody editing these. Well, how come he's not Vanaprastha? How come he's not out? How come he's not doing that? No, because he's beyond. He's beyond. Funny you should ask, Mike. Funny you should ask. I will tell you why. Because in his stage, he's in the Paramahamsa stage. He's so advanced that he's beyond Vanaprastha. So Vanaprastha is only for ordinary people. Ordinary people go through the stages of Brahmachari and then whatever, Grihastha, and then Vanaprastha, and then, I don't know, and then Sannyas. Is it then Sannyas? I don't know. But why isn't he like in a Babaji stage? Why aren't all of these guys at that final stage of life where you just go off and just sit in a hut and meditate and just die? Because you're so special, you can't do that. I got to travel around and be worshipped. These guys are on this constant worship tour where they're constantly traveling around being worshipped, like I was showing the fucking Indrayumna Swami pulling up in a car. They drive him up to a temple, and then all shit breaks loose. Like he did something. Like, what did you do? What have you fucking done? That's what I would love to ask him. I would love to ask him. I would raise my in a temple in a lecture. I'd raise my hand and say, "What the fuck have you ever done to be worshipped like this? What the fuck have you ever done where you think that people should be worshiping your feet and putting flowers around your neck? What have you done to deserve that?" Oh, well, I know all about these fairy tales and this mythology. Well, there's a lot of people that know about fairy tales and mythology. I mean, Little Bo Peep lost her sheep. What is it? What is it? I know about Rapunzel, she let down her hair and the guy climbed up her hair. Do I get flowers around my neck because I know that friggin' Bullwinkle and the flying squirrel? I mean, what is it that what are you doing? I'm giving love of God. Giving love of God how? To who? How? Well, I tell people to chant the holy name. Well, what the fuck does that do? Because as far as I can see, you guys fucking chant the holy name and then you're molesting kids and having sex with your disciples and shooting people in the head and all of this other trauma and all of this other horrific trauma that's going on. Well, what the fuck is this chanting the loving of God? Explain that to me. These guys are full of shit. All you do is travel around the world with a bunch of women around you, people putting flowers around your neck, throwing flowers on you. What the fuck have you ever done? What life have you ever saved? What mouth have you ever fed? What have you ever fucking done? Getting out of a car, like you're fucking, like you're fucking Robert Plant coming out in the middle of a Led Zeppelin concert. Rock and roll, yeah. What the fuck have you done? Except rip people off. This guy too. The fuck's he ever done? You gonna sit there and lecture me about what I need to do when I turn 50 years old, go to a fucking forest? He gonna tell me what books to read while he's piling around with fucking child molesters? This guy piling around with child molesters, he's gonna tell me what I need to do and what books I should read? And you ain't got the sense to say, hey buddy, you're a child molester, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off, man. I can't hang around with you anymore. He ain't got the sense to do that, but he thinks he's got the sense to tell other people how to live and what to do, what to wear, where to go, what to read, what to think, what to believe, what fairy tales to fucking read. The insanity of this fucking cult. Goddamn insanity. Work from home. I know, it's fucking hilarious. The guy is working, he's got a work from home office. The guy's got a work from home office, man. It cosplayed. This man is so disgusting, just like all Hare Krishna cosplayers and liars. I know. It's disgusting enough that he's going to sit there and preach, but the fact that he walks around, people throw flowers at him, they do all this shit for him like he's something other than a goddamn cosplayer. He ain't no different than these guys fucking at the Renaissance fair. He ain't no different than a Renaissance fair. God damn it. Ain't no different than these people. Ain't no different than these people at the Renaissance fair, man. That's what it is. They're just dressing up and playing like that. Look at that. That's what he's doing. That's this guy. That's this guy, man. That's him. Look at him. Look at them. Where is it? Look at That's them, man. That's them. It's the biggest friggin' joke. It's the biggest. Oh my God! And those Russian girls that dress up. Oh, we're giving, we're feeding, we're feeding the people. It's cosplaying. You know what? It's like I started cosplaying when I was 18. I met this guy. I started cosplaying when I was 18. I started cosplaying and I never stopped. I never stopped. Look at his costume. I know. Where is this fool? Where is this fool? Look at this guy. He's got the thing on his head. The thing on his head. I can't take it. Oh, he's cosplaying on steroids. Look at this. Look at this. Secondhand embarrassment. You know what? It is beyond. It's beyond embarrassment. I'm just cracking up. I think it's fucking hilarious. I was a little embarrassed for him, but it's just fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. This guy, he thinks he's Mr. Holy Man. He thinks he's Mr. Holy Man. Okay. Let's go with another one. Another friggin' batshit crazy. Okay, you want to talk about batshit crazy? I got batshit crazy for you. I came loaded. I came loaded with one in the barrel. I got one loaded in the barrel. I told you I had one for you. Oh, where'd he go? What happened? There you go. Uh-oh, he's gonna cry. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna. The self-induced psychosis, man. I swear to God. He convinces himself, this is where I got to start crying, and then I'm going to go into the laughter. It's so fucking insane. It's so insane. This man is bad. He looks like, I don't even want to, you could say that about me. I mean, I don't know what you want. You could say that about me with my hair and everything. But, Gaurahari thinks he's a rock star with his kid. He honestly thinks, he honestly thinks that he's purifying. He thinks he's purifying something. He thinks he's purifying something. Is too funny. Too. Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna. He's like, whoa, getting carried away. He's getting high on his own supply. He's oh my goodness. I gotta see it again. Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Krishna. He's got this like karaoke machine. He should be down like on the Las Vegas Strip or something, with a can, with a hat. And he's a Chaitanya, Gaurachandra. I gotta take it. It's too funny. He's like the Bill Murray lounge singer. Hey, Chaitanya Nityananda. Hey. And how about that Panchatattva? I'll be here all week. Hey. He lives in a Section 8 home in Alachua. Oh my God, he's another scammer. He's just a scammer. These guys, they're just scammers. I'm telling you, like, I didn't know that, but, and I don't know if that's true, but you say it is. I believe you.
Radhe, 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 Radha,
Oh, the mental illness. I shouldn't be making fun of the guy. Yes, I should. I should definitely be making fun of the guy because he needs to wake up and realize that he's a fucking idiot. He's a douchebag idiot. He's taking advantage of these people. He's got a thing going where if you hate ISKCON and you hate the Ritviks and you hate Narayan Maharaj and whatever, and you can't make it as a devotee, you can go to him and he'll take you in. And you don't have to do anything but just give donations to him, and you can come listen to him, and he'll give you the real Raganuga Bhakti. Because the real Raganuga Bhakti, there's no rules. There's no rules. You can blow your nose, you can smoke cigarettes, you can drink coffee and tea, you can do whatever you want. There's no rules. You just chant and just, but you gotta hear it from me, Gaurahari. That's the only rule, is only I can give you this love of God. Somehow, everybody else is wrong. I got it. I can't explain to you how, but Prabhupada came to me in a dream and he said, yeah, go out, He doesn't dress up because he's coming on idiots that left the cult but still thinks this trash is real. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's like Hridayananda. He doesn't dress up either because he wants to seem like, well, I'm the hip cool guy, and I went to Harvard, and I'm so smart that I alone understand that I don't have to dress up. I'll dress up sometimes, but only when I feel like dressing up. Because only I really understand the importance and the significance of dressing up. And because only I really understand the importance and the significance of dressing up, then I can decide when and where and how I dress up. So if I don't feel I need to dress up, then I'm not going to dress up. And when I feel the need to dress up, I'm going to dress up because I'm Harvard dumbass Swami, and I make the rules. Which, if you're a dumbass Goswami, then you can make the rules. Just like Gaurahari makes the rules, and Hridayananda makes the rules, and Bhakti Vikasa makes the rules, and this other knucklehead makes the rules. Yeah, because he saw Prabhupada in a dream. He had a dream about Prabhupada. So now he's a guru. Yeah, because he's a guru. Well, Prabhupada came to me in a dream and told me to tell Gaurahari to fuck off. So that's what Prabhupada told me in a dream. He told me that Gaurahari is a piece of shit, and told him if you ever see him. Prabhupada told me in a dream. He said, Sri Mukunda, if you ever see Sri Mukunda, if you ever see this Gaurahari, you tell him that Prabhupada said fuck off. I will tell him to fuck off. He's such a scammer, bro. I bet his mentally disabled disciples share their government money each month with him. Yeah, he's like I guess he's like what? He's like the special ed guru. He's like the guru for the mentally disabled. He's the guru for mentally disabled. Amazing. Well, here's another one. Here's my last one. Last one for the day. We're have some fun with this one. Let's see.
Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma.
I just think, just think how brainwashed you got to be. And some of us were that brainwashed. Some of us were that brainwashed. I never washed anybody's feet. I did wash Prabhupada's Murti's feet, poured water on them, and I washed the deities. I poured water on the deities. But I never sat there as a grown man and washed another grown man's feet like these guys. I never did that. I never had the pleasure of that humiliation, the humiliation of sitting there and. And the guy there washing his feet, you know, he's barely conscious. He barely even knows what's going on. He's sitting there. He's like out of it himself. This guy, you know, he's barely even aware of what's going on. But these grown men washing his feet under the delusion that this is somehow a spiritual thing that needs to happen for them for their lives to have any kind of meaning. Now I can understand maybe 2,000 years ago, maybe 1,500 years ago, somewhere around maybe 500 AD in India, they actually believed this, that they thought that this was some kind of thing, you know. But I think we've advanced a little bit in civilization, where our understanding of life and the understanding of life and the understanding of the rules of physics and everything, that this is not anything that people should not be doing this. This is definitely a humiliation ritual. This is a humiliation ritual, just meant to just break you down into a most insignificant person. How can these grown men sit there and wash this guy's feet and wash this grown man's feet, and then get up and walk around and feel good about themselves and feel proud about themselves without being completely brainwashed? This is such a degrading and humiliating thing for this fat fuck to be just sitting there. He's just some big fat fuck who's sitting there. He's never done a goddamn thing in his life. And he's sitting there, and these guys are washing his feet like he's a fucking god, like he deserves any kind of respect or any kind of anything at all. It's just fucking insanity. Goddamn insanity. And these guys gotta be insane to think that that is somehow a spiritual thing. You can't see how degrading that is, and you're a grown man just sitting there washing that man's feet like that. So fucking ridiculous. Fucking disgusting. Are women allowed to wash other people's feet? Well, women are allowed to bathe the deities. So I've seen women are allowed to bathe the deities at the temple during, you know, the festivals. I've seen women bathe Prabhupada's Murti. I've never been to a foot washing spectacle like this, so I don't know what happens in these cases. I've never been personally to see a guru's feet being washed, so I wouldn't know if he allows his disciples to wash his feet. I would imagine that Indrayumna Swami definitely allows his female disciples to wash his feet. I don't know what the protocol is or anything. I don't know. I heard this biatch Jayapataka fraud has a bad case of feet bacteria and his feet are rotten as hell. Yeah, he's got all kinds of health problems. So I would imagine, you know, he's probably got, you know, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. Women are not allowed to wash anyone's feet. Well, there you go. I've seen women wash the deities in the temple, but they can dress deities stuff, but it's not very common. Well, at the LA temple, I've seen women are allowed to bathe the deities. I've seen the women bathe Jagannath and all the deities. I've seen women bathe the deities at the temple, but as far as like gurus' feet, stuff like that, I've never seen women. So I don't know. I wouldn't know. But I can guarantee you that Indra Yumna Swami allows those women to bathe his feet. I guarantee you he lets them do that. I guarantee it. Cow teeth. Jayapataka. There are freaks who allow females to do this. I don't know. I guess I know. I don't know what the protocol is. I really don't. But I know that women can bathe the deities at the temple, and but I know what, like when they're doing stuff, it's all men doing it. When they're getting the deities together and they're Prabhupada and they're changing the deities and they're they put the curtain around them and they're doing all this stuff and they're doing all the chanting and everything. Women are nowhere around that stuff. Women are not allowed around that stuff. But as far as like just bathing the deities, when we would all line up, it wasn't like, oh, women can't do it. Women can't. Women could do it just like everybody else could. But as far as like this, you don't see women doing it. You don't see any women there, and you don't see any women doing. You don't see any women. Yeah, that's disgusting. It is so disgusting. It's so disgusting, and they think that that is so wonderful. It is so disgusting. I was told by a sannyasi once that women can touch their feet, but that's about it. Yeah, but during a foot bathing ceremony, like I know that when they would do the flowers, it was the men went first, and then the women could go. Women went later. It's always the men first, and then the women can do it after all the men have done it. And so it might be something like that, where all the men get to do it first, and then the women get the leftovers. So it's a gay ritual. It's definitely a gay ritual. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, yeah. I mean, how gay? Look, I mean, how gay? I mean, how gay? How gay do you want it? I mean, how gay? How gay do you want? I mean, you want it to be full gay? You want it to be bisexual? You want it, and then, of course, the toweling. It's still so disgusting. It's so disgusting because this guy, I'm going to tell you, it's disgusting because this guy's a big, giant piece of shit, and he doesn't deserve any of this. The children that are abused under he's one of the leaders. He's one of the people who is he was a leader, if not the leader, of this whole thing when all the shit was going down. He was like at the top of the top, and he's still at the top of the top. That's why he's got this whole fucking thing and his feet are being washed. Well, what the fuck has he ever done except cause pain and misery to so many children, so many people? Nothing. That's all he's done. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's a gay ritual. It's a gay ritual. Grown men washing and massaging this guy's feet for fun because they think they're going to get some spiritual something out of it. Because because you know, got to remember. Okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Okay, who's Jayapataka? Who is he really in his spiritual, in his real spiritual identity? Who is he in his real spiritual identity? Who? Let's play. This is a test. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question now. Let me ask a question, and we'll see who can win. We'll see who's gonna give me the right answer. We're gonna play the game. Okay. So the question is, who is the guru? What is his Siddha Sarup? What is his Nitya Siddha identity? What is his real identity? This guy. Who is this guy? I'm going to give you a hint. I'll give you a hint, okay? Because we're playing a game. So who is he? Who is he when he goes back to Godhead and he is in Krishna Leela? Who is Jayapataka? Is he Jayapataka? Or is he an 11-year-old gopi girl? If you answered, we'll get it. So, if you answered that the guru, when he goes back to Goloka Vrindavan, his eternal Nitya Siddha form, his real identity is an 11-year-old gopi girl. So that's who he really is. But our material vision, what we see, we don't see that 11-year-old girl. We see this fat fuck sitting there. We see this fat fucking partial vegetable, potato-headed piece of shit. That's what we see. We don't see his 11-year-old gopi form, because he's actually an 11-year-old gopi. So whose feet are they really massaging? Are they massaging this fat fuck piece of shit vegetable guy, or are they massaging the feet of an 11-year-old gopi girl? If you answered they're massaging the feet of an 11-year-old gopi girl, you would be correct. So that's what they think. That's who they think they're massaging. They think they're massaging this 11-year-old gopi girl in the form of this fat fucking ugly ass old man. The guru is an eternal associate of Radharani. He's a manjari. He's a maidservant of Radharani and the gopis. That's who he is. So of course they don't mind washing his feet, because they're washing the feet of an 11-year-old gopi girl in front of all these people, in front of all these women. There are all the women. The women get to watch, evidently. That's what the women get to do. The women get to watch. The women get to watch this gay spectacle. The women get to watch the gay spectacle. Grown men worshiping another grown man because they think he's an 11-year-old girl. Okay, that's if you say so. if you say so, I mean, I don't know. Okay, that's what this cult does. That's what this cult is all about. It's all about those 11-year-old girls running after that kiwi, man. You got to go run after that kiwi. I guess we're gonna spin the wheel. Is that what somebody mentioned, the wheel of spinning the wheel? Let's spin the wheel. We give it a spin before I head out of here. Let's see. Gentleness on steroids. Insane. The insanity of these people. They do all this wacky stuff and molest children and abuse women and are sexist and racist and promote child marriage. You get all of you get all of it. You get all of this insanity. It's all included. All it comes in a bundle. It's all we bundle it all together for you. So not only do you get mental illness and trauma for the rest of your life, but you also get child abuse, domestic abuse, you get some racism thrown in, you get some sexism thrown in, you get some little child marriage, on sprinkle some child marriage in there. The insanity bundle deal. We're just gonna bundle it all together. You get it all. We're gonna you get it all. Where'd my wheel go? Oh, here it is. Okay, we got wheels, and we gotta spin this wheel. If anybody wants to wager, you can wager. It's a lot of fun wagering on the wheel. See who comes up. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to give it a spin. And I don't know, what am I going to pick? I should open up the wagering with I'm going to pick Wisdom of the Sages, because I can't stand those guys. We got red. We got N says red. Going with the red. So let's see what we got. I'm going with Wisdom of the Sages. Are they on there? Oh, they're not even on there anymore. I guess I took them off. All right, I'm gonna go with Hare Krishna Project. I'll go with Hare Krishna Project. Here we go. Oh, we got Bicycle Das. We got Bicycle Das coming in as that's the winner. And let's see if we can find Bicycle Das, Vaisasiki Das. And who was it? It was N was the winner. Winner, yes, winner, the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. It's N. And let's see what we got. We got the trophy. Absolutely. We hand the trophy over to N. You get to carry the trophy until the next show, and then we'll see if someone can take that trophy from you. So that trophy goes to N. And oh, I'm about to lose it. Okay. Let's find. See if we can find this nut. Okay, let's see.
Bhagavad Gita says the mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy. Since we live with our minds, it's best if we make it our friend. Very practically speaking, one of the ways to make the mind our friend is to regulate it. And here's a tip for anyone, anywhere, that is effective in regulating the mind. Before you go to sleep at night, write down your 3 main priorities for the next day. Keep that paper near you where you're sleeping, and when you wake up in the morning, make it the first thing that you look at. As soon as you read those 3 priorities, make it your main purpose to achieve these before you do anything else. All the ways that you're getting ready in the morning are just preparing you for these 3 priorities. When you've achieved these, you'll have a basis for your day. You'll feel victorious, and you'll feel that your mind is your friend because you've gone according to your plan and your mind has helped you. But you have to help your mind by giving it a little direction every single day. Try this tip and have a fantastic day. The ancient wisdom literature Bhagavad Gita says the mind can be our best friend.
I don't know. I think you're right. Is that fake human? That could be fake human. It could be fake human. A friend of God, friend of mine. Okay, so you got to remember this guy that's giving you these words of wisdom. And hey, I'm not saying he's wrong at what he's saying to do. I don't really care what he's saying to do. This is a guy who thinks that pushing a shopping cart of books around Costco parking lot is the goal of life, and he goes around and he gives classes and he teaches people how to beg for books, beg with books. You go up to strangers on the street with a book that nobody wants, and then you hit them up for money and give them the book in exchange for money. That's his idea of spiritual activity. That's his idea of having a union with the Supreme, the divine. Having a relationship with the divine is based on how many books you can distribute to people who don't want them by annoying the fuck out of them. That's what he does. That's who this guy is. And he does look like fake human, I have to admit. He's from the temple close to me in San Jose. I met him before he was a guru. Yeah, and he hasn't changed. He's the same doofus he was before he became a guru as he is now. Now that he is a guru, he's the same doofus. You're gonna take advice from a guy, and I'm not saying the advice he's giving is wrong. I'm just saying, are you gonna take it from him? Can you find someone else to give you advice? Because this guy, if this guy was going to give you real advice on anything else, he'd say, take these books and go sell them in a parking lot at the DMV or Costco, and that's what you need to do. In fact, I'm going to be giving a class on that, and if you pay me, I'll teach you how to sell these books. GBC voted in guru. I know. How does that work when all throughout Prabhupada's books he says that gurus are not appointed? All throughout Prabhupada's books, he says gurus are not appointed. They're not voted in. They're not by a show of hands. They're not, they're not a guru. That's not how gurus are made. That's not a guru. And then these guys is like, they don't even care. They're just voting in more gurus and voting in more and voting in more, and going right against what Prabhupada says in his books. And that's what got me right off the bat. I was like, well, but Prabhupada says that's not right. And he was like, well, it doesn't matter. We still have 90, 100. And basically, when you understand the history of cults, that's how cults operate. Once the leader passes on, the next leader, even if it's a cult of personality, especially if it's a cult of personality, you still have your transcendent mission, which is Lord Chaitanya's movement. So even though Prabhupada's gone, the mission remains, which is Lord Chaitanya's mission, Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission for the next 10,000 years. So that continues on as the mission, and then the Prabhupada's gone, the Guru's gone, but the new leaders they got some wiggle room because we're the leaders now. So if Prabhupada says gurus are not voted in, and they can say, well, yeah, Prabhupada says gurus are not voted in, but we're not really voting them in. We're saying, hey, does anybody have any objection? And as long as there's no objection, then they're good. So we're not voting them in. So we're not really going against what Prabhupada says, but this is how we do it now, because we're in charge and we get to say how it works. As if that's fooling anybody. Like that's gonna fool anybody. Yeah, I guess it does. It does fool some people. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool everybody all the time. So. Seems like their main focus is money and getting money from the rich Indian congregation. Well, you got to remember, the goal of a cult, of all cults, the goal of all cults is free labor. Free labor. Free labor and the transcendent mission. So if you're not spending money on labor, you're saving money because you're not spending it on the labor. You're getting free labor. Like I was saying, if Pepsi Cola wanted to get 20 people to go down to Venice Beach and spend 2 hours promoting Pepsi and get 20 people down there dressed up in Pepsi outfits and go down there and start handing out Pepsi literature and setting up a table and with Pepsi and doing all this Pepsi promotion, that would cost them a lot of money. They'd have to pay those people an hourly wage to do that, minimum, and then all the other costs involved in that. That's a lot of money. That's why they don't do it. There's a lot of money to do that. Right? They'd rather just put up a billboard that says Pepsi, and then they can spend $10,000 on that, and it'll sit there for a month, and that works. They don't need to spend all that money to send 20 people out on Venice Beach, because that's a lot of money. But Hare Krishnas can send 20 people out onto Venice Beach, and they can do all their thing for free, and sell books for free. So they get the exposure, they sell their books, they make money, they don't have to pay anybody anything. So it's free labor, exploiting the labor, and making the money. So money always comes when there's free labor. But the main point is the free labor, selling the books for free, getting people out there to sell those books for free, and getting donations, rounding up donations. If you had to, again, getting donations. If I had a nonprofit organization and I wanted a bunch of people to sit and call to get donations, call all these companies and ask them to donate to this great food relief fund. Call up, I had a phone bank, and telemarketers are calling to get people to, I'd have to pay them. I'd have to pay them money for them to bring in money. So again, I'd have to spend that money. And if I can get people to do it for free, just go out and get donations. Go out and do this, go out and do that, go out and ask. I don't have to pay them, it's free labor. And I'm bringing in money. I'm bringing in money, and I don't have to pay for the labor that it would cost me to bring in that money. So it's all about free labor is really what it is. It's making money, but it's using free labor to get it. It's all about that free labor. And whenever you see anything Krishna on the internet, or that they're doing anything like the temple in South Africa that collapsed, or any project that they're doing, it's free labor. It's always free labor. Or getting money through free labor to pay for stuff, but it's always free labor. I can't count all the times I went out on Harinam thinking I was doing something spiritual for me, doing something spiritual for Prabhupada, pleasing Krishna, doing something for Lord Chaitanya's movement, but all I was doing was just free labor. Free fucking labor. All the television programs that I produced for the Hare Krishnas when I was doing the public access programs, all the money that I was spending, my own money, to do those programs, and then instead of doing whatever I had wanted to do, I was doing Krishna stuff for free, for them. Free labor, exploit Mike for his public access channel. Everything is like that. Everything is like that. They're constantly exploiting everybody. Ratnabhushna. If they had to pay Ratnabhushna to build those fucking Rath Yatra carts, they couldn't afford it. It would have cost too much. He would have tried. Get out of your mind. He did it for free. He did it for free. They get the congregation to spend thousands of dollars on books. Then they go and sell those books for more money. They started taking Google stock, encouraging the Indians to give their stock. Oh, man. It's insane, man. It's such a scam. Everywhere you look at it, it's like I was saying, no matter which way you slice it, it's just a fucking disgusting piece of shit. And I'll go back. I'm going to go back to what I started at. Just because someone hasn't had a horrible experience, child abuse or domestic abuse, doesn't mean it's not a cult or that it doesn't happen. I hate when they talk about, hey, well, everybody had a bad experience, but I had a good time. Fuck you and your good time. Fuck you and your good time. That's worse than free because the congregation is actually giving thousands. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. you're donating money for a temple to be built, and they're not even using that money to build the temple because they're building the temple with free labor, and that money is going into some guru's pocket so he can go to Rishikesh and have a Guru Palooza. Fuck you and your fucking donations. Fuck them. You don't know where that money's going. I was just about to get out of here. Can you speak on Radhanath Swami? Can I speak on him? You know, he'll sue anybody who talks bad about him. He doesn't like anybody to talk about him because he was involved in that shit in New Vrindavan. And because he was involved in that shit in New Vrindavan, if you talk about him, he'll try to say you're committing libel and slander and that you can't prove anything and that he was exonerated of any wrongdoing. So if I try to say anything about him and what happened in New Vrindavan, I could get sued, or he could put a copyright strike, he could do something to me. I don't want anything to happen to me then. But if you want to know more about Radhanath Swami, you can look him up. You can look him up all over the place. In fact, you can go right here. You can go to this pod. You can go to this pod place and you can search for Radhanath Swami and you can read all about him here. But if I was to try to talk about him, and the way I talk and the way I go off, I could end up getting sued or getting my channel taken down or something, because he's notorious for that. He doesn't like anybody to talk shit about him. He doesn't like anybody to talk shit about him. You used to be his disciple. Well, then you should be telling me. You should know more about him than I do. You should know more about. You tell us what you know about him. What a waste of time. I know. It's all a waste of time. It's such a waste of time. I feel sorry that you wasted your time. I feel sorry that you wasted your time. I'm sorry that you didn't know about him sooner. He was involved. I'll tell you what I do know that he can't sue me for. He was involved in New Vrindavan with Kirtanananda, and he was initiated by Kirtanananda, and he was Kirtanananda's right-hand man when all that shit was going down. So don't blaspheme a devotee. I know. Don't blast these motherfucking devotees. You don't want me to get sued. Yeah, I don't want to get sued. But the truth is the best defense. So all I can really say is what's truthful and that can be proven in court. And that is that he was in New Vrindavan. He was Kirtananda's right-hand man. And when Kirtananda got kicked out of ISKCON for being a freak and being like going against everything, all of New Vrindavan went with Kirtananda, including Radhanath and Devamrita Swami. So all of them, they all went along with Kirtanananda. And then when Kirtanananda went to jail, then they came back. Then they were like, oh, we're sorry, we want to come back into ISKCON. So then they wanted to come back, and I was there in LA when Radhanath came to LA, and he had his little, I'm sorry, I apologize lecture. And I didn't listen to it. I wasn't inside. I was outside. But I was there when he was there, and he was giving his "Hey, I'm sorry" speech, and then they let him back in, and then he immediately started to rise up and become a leader, which I didn't understand how you kick these guys out for being deviants or whatever, and then he comes back in and becomes what I wanted is that he just wanted me to do lots of seva and sure loves all the attention he's getting. Wasted 10 fucking years of nonsense. Yeah, I wasted 20, so I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. I lost 20 years. 20 years I lost, so I know. I feel you. I feel you. And he has these devotees under a spell. Yeah, and he's a scumbag, and that's what I'll tell you that. He's a scumbag. He's got a lot of people fucking brainwashed, and he's exploiting he's getting free labor out of these people. And basically I just say, fuck him. Fuck him. He's a scumbag, and I hope he fucking rots. I hope he fucking rots. I can't stand these people. I cannot stand these people. I cannot stand. I hate them. Listen to me. Look at me. I hate these fucking people. I know. Look at that ain't Kiwi, man. I heard someone once say that he's a pure instrument of Radharani. He's fucking. He's a pure fucking piece of shit. He wants to dance around. Fuck him and his bullshit. Yeah, I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. Yeah. So that's Radhanath Swami. I think I've done some videos I've talked about him. But yeah, so that's him. He's part of the whole new Vrindavan thing. He was involved in the Salochan murder. How, I don't know, but he was there. He was there at the time. He was there. So listen, hey everybody, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Please, everybody who came in, Miss Jade, Fake Human, Charles Santrobus. Charles Antrobus, remember, don't blaspheme a devotee. Yeah, I'll try to remember. I'll try to remember that. I'll keep it in the front of my head. Easy Market, thanks for coming in. And Fake Human, and Tim, everybody. Was it Jeff, Liam, everybody. Jeff, and Queen of Karma, of course, stopped by. Travis, Hayden Erickson, Jenna Morton, everybody. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to do another one, and it'll be soon. And so everybody, in the meantime, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. Don't let these Krishnas, man, tell you that, hey, I had a good time. I didn't see anything wrong. When they tell you that, say you should be ashamed of yourself. In fact, take that I had a good time and shove it up your ass, you piece of shit. That's what I say. That's what I say to all of them. So everybody, I got one last rant in me. I got to get it out. So everybody, hey, for all you, everybody out there, for all you new people that's never seen me before, here I am when I was a Hare Krishna once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. Bye, everybody.